Ballyporeen, County Tipperary. Up to now, a quiet little town with no great claim to fame apart from Percy French's reference to Dunnigan's daughter from over the water who caused all the slaughter in Ballyporeen. Now all is changed. Researchers from Debrett's Peerage have claimed Ballyporeen for Ronald Reagan. The first that the people of Ballyporeen heard about this remarkable claim was when Debrett's people walked into John Farrell's pub last Saturday week and declared themselves.
John, what exactly were they looking for when they walked into your pub?
Well, when they came in, they had a drink, and then they asked me about the Reagan family. Were there any Reagans in the area here? When I told them there weren't, then they told me that would I be surprised if I heard that the great-grandfather of the President of the United States was actually born here, which of course I laughed at, because an enormous event like that the great-grandfather, the most powerful man in the world, was actually played around here, and probably played with my own ancestors who were also here at the time.
Tell me, Mary, your first reaction when these people walked into the pub, did it take you by surprise?
Oh, very much so. In fact, I suppose we didn't believe them for a few minutes, you know, but when we heard where they were from, then we knew it was on the level, really, you know.
Now, it must have taken Ballyporeen by some surprise generally, because when you think about it, you're a very level-headed community and a little cynical.
I think we are, anyhow, you know.
Perhaps a little cynical to claims of that nature being made.
We would have been, yes, but when Debretts were interested in it, we figured, well, this must be. Then there was also a Mr. Parkin, and he was Associated Press, and again, when you get names like this, two from Hibernian researchers. So we figured these know what they're at. In fact, they did. They had all the details before they came into us. They weren't looking for information. They just wanted the local angle on it, you know. But they had all the information and documents to prove it.
Temple Tenny Graveyard, a likely resting place for the O'Regans of Doolas. Local journalist Liam Moher of the Cork Examiner.
What were the four basic claims that Debrett made which linked the Michael Regan here in 1829 to Ronald Reagan in the White House?
It started in Doolas, as far as the records show, on September 3, 1829, when Michael Regan was baptised in the church here in Ballyporeen. The next we know of him, well, we also know, of course, that he was one of 6 children. The next we know of him, he's in London, in Southwark, where he married a Catherine Mulcahy, who some people think may also have been from this area, in 1852. The entire family, including their son John, emigrated to the States. And incidentally, they lived in Peckham in London, and from there they apparently went to the States. And their son John, who was the president's father, was born in Illinois, as far as we know. And it's thence to the White House.
Now, you're a journalist, and you broke this one in the Cork Examiner, I think, quite recently. Yes. My question for you is, were you initially very sceptical about the whole thing?
Professionally, yes, but emotionally, no. It's my home run, and I'd like to believe it as much as anybody here. And I think it's credible, because Debrett has laid a line, literally, from here, right into the White House.
Well, this is the parish register of the parish of Temple Tenny, which is the old name for the parish of Ballyporeen.
Now, Father, can you actually corroborate the claim made by Debretts that Michael Regan was in fact baptised on September 3rd, 1829?
Well, yes, that is here. These books, like all books of the start of the last century, are in Latin. And the entry as it actually exists here is for the 3rd of September, 1829. Michael Filius Thomas Regan et Margarita Murphy de Doolas, sponsores Guillermus Regan et Katharina Welsh, and the initials MR. In English, that would be Michael, son of Thomas Regan and Margaret Murphy from Doolas. Sponsors or godparents William Regan and Margaret Welsh, and the priest's initials MR stand for a priest called Martin Redmond.
So, in fact, that would seem to be in accord with the claims made by Debretts.
Oh, yes. The authentic corroboration of that is here.
Now, when they were researching, did they at any stage come and talk to you about this particular original entry?
No. This book is in the charge of the parish priest, Father Murphy, and myself. And certainly until you have come during this entire business, nobody has asked us to look at this book.
Now that sounds rather strange. Is there any way they could have checked that information out elsewhere?
Well, I understand that they had seen there would be a facsimile, a photostat copy of this book in Dublin. I understand they had done their researches through that. Their researches proved to be accurate when I rechecked them.
Well, it mightn't look much, but this bog road leads into the townland of Doulis. Doulis where, according to the researchers and indeed the local people, Ronald Reagan's great-grandfather was born and reared. Well, I tell you what, maybe it is just as well that Audie Murphy didn't make it as president, or we'd all be in trouble.